Crysis, c'est cette série de FPS principalement connue pour sa puissance visuelle. Et c'est à l'occasion d'un showcase organisé par Electronic Arts à Londres que nous avons pu jeter un œil à ce que sera la prochaine grosse production des studios Crytek. Une présentation dirigée par Rasmus Ojengard, le directeur créatif du studio allemand, qui a également répondu à quelques-unes de nos questions. À commencer par la raison du retour de Prophet, héros du tout premier Crysis.
So the reason we decided to bring back Prophet is because he's kind of a very rich character, right? Not in terms of money and stuff like that, but he has a lot of layers. He's gone through bad things, and people who has the right motivation but had a kind of like a tough life. They're always more interesting than people who had everything easy, right? And he's a very talented soldier, and he's a powerful guy, and that's why we wanted to bring him back, because we thought he was the kind of all-round richest and most interesting character we had. Even to the extent of him just sounding very, very cool. The actor has a very cool voice, and in the first-person game, that just brings a lot, because the voice is all you kind of can identify with in a game where the protagonist talks.
Les événements de Crysis 3 se déroulent 20 ans après ceux de l'épisode précédent, alors que Prophet retourne dans un New York protégé par un nanodôme développé par l'organisation corrompue Cell. Baptisé Liberty Dome, cet endroit va devenir le terrain de chasse du héros. Un terrain qui mêle forêt tropicale et environnement urbain et qui trouve une justification à travers l'histoire, comme nous l'explique Rasmus.
The reason to do this, there's a number of reasons why we wanted to do this. One, we obviously wanted to do something that would look awesome and play into the strengths of what the CryEngine can do and all this kind of stuff, and fitted the legacy of the franchise. It needed to be not something that we're going like, why would they do that, right? And we learned a lot from Crysis 1, we learned a lot from Crysis 2, and we wanted to take those learnings and combine them and make a game that kind of combines the strengths of each of those games, right? At the same time, we wanted to make something more impressive and crazy than each of those two things combined. So we added this sci-fi element of the nanodomes, which then accelerates this rainforest growth, which basically means that what has happened to this rainforest would not be naturally occurring on the planet, because it's been accelerated to an extent where this would have taken hundreds of years, and it's its own little isolated ecosystem. This means that we can do things to a city that you normally can't do to a city, and we can do things to a rainforest that you wouldn't normally see in a rainforest.
Hunt them all down and take back the city.
Crysis 3 se pointera évidemment avec un nouvel arsenal, qui se verra agrandi par le fait que le héros peut désormais utiliser des armes aliens. La nanosuit, un des éléments principaux du gameplay, aura aussi droit à ces nouvelles features.
So the nanosuit has changed over time. It always does, and especially because of the infusion of the Ceph material, which is why you can now fire all these Ceph weapons as well. So the hacking feature, the Ceph weapons, the infusion of this material, the arc and personal motivation of what Prophet ultimately wants to get out of his life, if you will, all this ties together into one thing. And that's also why we now introduced the bow, because that's the setting, it's the motivation, he's the hunter. It's why we introduced the Ceph weapons now and not earlier, because it fits a lot more stuff. I can't unfortunately go into detail what that means right now, but the hacking thing is the same thing, right? It's a feature that it plays a role that ramps up throughout the game, starting from like simple things like you saw today, but there will be really epic moments where you have to use this feature that ties into both the story as well as the gameplay. So it was really important for us early on to make sure that we always had context when we added new things, to make sure that it would fit the vision and the story and the character, and not just be wouldn't it be cool with a bow? Yeah, let's put a bow in.
Crytek ne semble donc pas avoir fait les choses au hasard, et si le peu d'images disponibles et cette courte présentation ne sont évidemment pas suffisantes pour se faire un avis, on reste tout de même très enthousiaste quant au potentiel ludique de ce titre qui devrait sortir l'année prochaine sur PC, PS3 et 360.